Michael Chandler is not interested in joining BKFC after his UFC career, stating, "I've proven that I'm a tough guy." He's been known for thrilling fights against big names like Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje, and Dustin Poirier.
You know, my first fight against Eddie Alvarez was on MTV2. It's got more views on YouTube right now than it did probably that night in the actual fight night for sure. But yeah, man, it was a part of my journey, and I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my run in Bellator. And here we are now, bigger and better.
Would you want to do bare knuckle once before you retire from combat sports?
Absolutely not. I think I've proven that I'm a tough guy. I think I could say absolutely not without risking people saying this guy's soft. I don't think I need to go fight bare knuckle to prove how tough I am. Just go type my name in on YouTube or on UFC Fight Pass, and you can see that I'm no softy. But no, I think there's a certain brand of guy that goes there while you're still in your prime and able to compete at the highest level in mixed martial arts. And I'm not one of those guys. So I think when I will hang up the gloves for the last time at some point under the UFC and never fight again. That will be the goal, and I'll probably leave before people want me to leave for sure. And but right now, man, we're focused on the next fight, and we'll see what it is. But I'm a fan of bare knuckle.
Ilia Topuria, originally focused on facing Alexander Volkanovski, has shifted interest toward Diego Lopez as his next potential challenger.
I think Diego deserves it more because Mozart has more fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
But he has, I don't know, 7 fights in the UFC, 8 decisions, 5 by split decisions. It's like, man, you need to finish someone.
Right.
Do something relevant, put yourself in that spot, and why not? We can do it. But if you don't finish anyone, I fight for the fans. I fight to entertain the fans, and I need someone inside the cage to be entertained. You know, I don't need someone who is only looking for a win and grab you and this and that, which he wouldn't be able to do that with me. I would knock him out in the first round, but I need someone to hype up the fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're the opposite. You're Mr. Entertainment.
I need a good dancing partner.
Diego Lopez responded by saying, "I think those comments caught everyone by surprise since he had said he was going to defend his title against Volkanovski for his next fight. But who knows? A fight with him for the title next would be perfect. Let's see what UFC will decide. In case Topuria truly decides to move up to 155, I'd like to fight against Volkanovski, whether it's a title fight or not, or an interim title. I'd want to fight him. If he's going to be left without a fight, I'm here." Who do you want to see Ilia Topuria fight next? Before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. Former UFC champion Dominick Cruz has announced his retirement from MMA, citing repeated injuries as the reason. On Instagram, Cruz said, "To the fans worldwide, I have poured every ounce of myself into this sport for the last 25 years. I was really hopeful for one final fight, but unfortunately, 2 shoulder dislocations in 8 months calls an end to this guy's career. I gave everything I had and put it into preparation and training for this fight, focusing on my cardio and my body for the past year. But sometimes, the body just doesn't cooperate. The pain isn't as bad now that my shoulder's back in place, but the second dislocation was far more complicated than the first. This sport has been everything to me. It's helped to shape who I am. Thank you to the UFC for building this platform and paving the way for fighters like myself and so many others. The UFC broke barriers to set the stage, not just for us as fighters, also for every MMA sports organization that followed them across the bridge created throughout politics in order to allow our sport to take place legally in the United States and now the world. I am incredibly grateful to everyone who booked tickets, hotels, and flights to support me. Thank you all for being there through every moment, every victory, and every challenge. You've made this journey unforgettable. Thank you for the love and support. I will carry it with me always. What was your favorite Dominick Cruz fight, and comment below who you think is the bantamweight GOAT. A federal judge has given final approval to a $375 million settlement in the UFC antitrust lawsuit. The lawsuit accused UFC of monopolizing the sport to increase fighter pay. Plaintiffs can now expect to receive their compensation following this decision.
Breaking news in the UFC antitrust lawsuit. Today, in Las Vegas, Nevada, the presiding judge just granted final settlement approval of the $375 million deal. So the UFC is going to pay $375 million, and many fighters from 2010 to 2017 that competed for the UFC are going to be eligible to claim their money. So this is a historic result. The second case is it's called Johnson versus Zuffa, is ongoing. So fighters from 2017 onward still have the ability to seek more damages and to seek contractual changes, injunctive relief, to change some of the UFC's business practices that have led to this suppressed pay. But big news, the fighters are getting paid. Great work by the Mixed Martial Arts Fighters Association, the MMAFA, who spearheaded and engineered this lawsuit. Congratulations to the fighters involved. Congratulations to the lawyers involved. Job well done. I'll get out some further content soon about how fighters will claim their money.
Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul are finalizing a deal for a cruiserweight fight on May 3rd at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, airing live on Netflix. Paul previously defeated Mike Tyson via unanimous decision, and Canelo mentioned previously, "When I'm done with boxing at the top level, why not?" Fans are disappointed as the potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is no longer happening. People are annoyed that a legit fight would get canceled for another Logan Paul spectacle. Do you think Jake Paul has a chance against Canelo? If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe. If you don't, you'll miss out on daily MMA news and people will think you're a casual. UFC welterweight champion Belal Muhammad believes training during Ramadan is tough and questions its necessity. Muhammad, who fought Gilbert Burns at UFC 288 after a Ramadan camp, feels the physical demands conflict with the fasting period.
So I think for me, March is Ramadan, so having the whole month of Ramadan for myself, and then training in April, and then fighting in May would be perfect.
In the past, you fought during Ramadan, but is that something you choose not to do now going forward, or?
Yeah, I mean, in the past, I think it was more so when you're chasing the belt, when you're trying to get there, you do anything possible to get to that point. So I'm always going to say yes. For me now, it's like, if I have a choice, obviously I would rather not fight during Ramadan. It's not easy. It's hard. So, and also having, expecting to fight it's one of the biggest mental strengths that I gained during that month, because you're not sitting there focusing on your opponent. You're focusing on pleasing God, being closer to your religion, closer to the people around you, your family, your loved ones. Being, when you're fasting, you get more clear-headedness out of everything. And I think it helps a lot of people during that month. So I think for him, since it's early, I don't know if he'll gain the strength that I had during it, but yeah, I don't think it'll be hard for him.
Jon Jones trolled the MMA community by saying he had a big announcement to make. As it turns out, the announced information was a partnership with Power to the Patients.
Thanks for joining me today. This next fight for me is a personal one, but it's not just for me. It's for every American who's ever been bullied, robbed, or deceived. It's arguably the most important fight of my career. My next opponent will be the American healthcare system. I'll be joining Power to the Patients to take on hospitals, PBMs, and insurance companies that refuse to show us their prices so that they can overcharge us while raking in enormous profits. We should know that an MRI could cost $600 or $6,000 so that we can avoid overpaying. In America, we shouldn't have to advocate for honesty and accountability in healthcare, but here we are. It's time we all fight for real prices and transparency in healthcare. God bless America, and power to the patients.
Conor McGregor claims he has accepted a role in the returning series Love/Hate, but RTA denies any plans for a sixth season. John Connors, who played Patrick Ward on the show, mentioned in an interview that Love/Hate is coming back, stating, "It's going into production later this year. It will be out next year." Charles Oliveira has tweeted that he wants to fight International Fight Week. If you recall, after his loss to Topuria, Max Holloway said that he wanted to take time off and fight International Fight Week. This could mean a fan-favorite matchup is in the works. Sean Strickland reacts to Australian newspaper Daily Telegraph, putting an ad out for him to get knocked out on the front page of their latest print.
Now, Sean Strickland, you've made the front page of the newspaper with the headline, "Will someone please knock this guy out?"
Bunch of communists here, guys.
What's your response to the media?
I come to this fucking country and I talk about freedom of speech and guns and taxes And you got these fucking communists in the media trying to fucking put me down. Why? Because you want to control the media and you don't like freedom of speech. Australia welcomes a lot of immigrants, and I respect you, but the immigrants in Australia assimilate and become Australian, and goddamn, I respect.
That's all for today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more MMA content. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on the screen to get caught up.